Welcome to our Wellness Wednesday Health Show. I'm your host, Dr. Kala Hewlett from the Back Pain and Joint Center of Texas, and this is Overdose Awareness Month. And throughout this month, we're going to be bringing different activities, interviews, events to help bring awareness and educate you on the overdose problem that we're facing in this country. Last year alone, we had over 90,000 deaths due to overdose in this country. Over 70,000 deaths alone were due to opioids. In fact, opioids are the #1 cause of death in people under the age of 50. It's a real problem, and chances are you know someone who's been affected by this. And so today I'm excited to be on location here with James from Teen and Men's Challenge that is in a rehabilitation center. James, welcome to our show today.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you, doctor.
James, what type of facility is this exactly?
This is actually a 12-month faith-based rehab. So what we do is we take men in from all different kinds of addictions and strongholds, and we house them here for the first 7 months and help them go through different studies to re-educate how to go through life without a substance. And we help them build resumes and bank accounts and find a job and transport them to and from those jobs to just reintegrate themselves back into society.
I love that integration back into society. You know, the people I've met, nobody in elementary school says, hey, when I grow up, I want to be addicted to opioids, heroin, alcohol. I want to live on the streets. Nobody says that, right? They want to be firemen, astronauts, all those things, right? But somewhere in life, things happen and someone gets on that addiction cycle. And so you have a personal journey yourself, right, that brought you here. Would you mind just sharing a little bit about how you came connected with this group?
Yes, sir. So real quickly, I just moved out when I was 15, was born to a good family, youth pastors and missionaries, and just rebelled and went into my own addiction story and crime lifestyle. And it wasn't until I was 25 in 2018 when I was brought to a point where I had nowhere else to look but to God and to my parents, and they introduced me to Adult and Teen Challenge. And since 2018, I've been with Adult and Teen Challenge and left for a little period of time, but now I chose to work and use my story for something to carry men that have been through what I'm going through or been through, and just to encourage them to look for help and continue to work this thing without addiction, and just help the family come back together and just restore itself and not worry about addiction, that we can do this without drugs and opiates. It's something that just takes such a hold in the family. It's something that I say is addiction is a team sport. Everybody has their place in it, and not everybody's playing or on the field, but some people are on the bench, and it's hard to watch. So it's something I definitely have a passion for. It's something that's near and dear to my heart. I've been through it, so I can stand here and help these guys through it. Yeah.
So it's been 2018, so we're in 2021 now, so about 3 years.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for your coming across with this teen and men's group and going through the rehabilitation, where do you think you'd be right now?
I would either be dead or back in prison for sure. Absolutely no doubt in my mind. I would, yeah.
So would it be safe to say this changed your life?
Yes, life-changing for sure. They, more than anything, they introduced me to a personal relationship with Jesus. So that is something that will carry me through any problem, whether it be addiction or life crisis or anything like that. I have nothing but hope for my future, and I can just give all the glory to God for that.
I love it. So you guys are unique in that way, where you're a faith-based organization. Is that right?
Sir. Yes, sir.
And so you mentioned, you know, that connection with Christ and relationship with God. And then you mentioned also growing up like in a pasture, and your parents were involved with that. When you were in that addiction, that dark place in your life, did you and your parents, did you kind of separate yourself from them?
Yes, definitely. I mean, it was to the point where I rebelled so hard against their strict rules at the time, you know, and when I was 15, I moved out and just started living this crazy lifestyle, and it took a toll on us, and they wanted to help me so bad, but they wanted to help me. I didn't want help.
So you just pushed it. Yeah, you just pushed back.
I pushed back harder, isolated myself, and it wasn't till 10 years later that I came to a point where I knew that I needed help.
Yeah. What was it, right? So what was the deciding factor where you said, all right, did you hit like the rock bottom, or yeah?
It was a point in my lifestyle. I tell people I was addicted to a certain lifestyle, a fast life. The drugs came and changed, and everything changed, right? But the lifestyle was what I was addicted to, and it came to a point where, without incriminating myself, it came to a point where it was either me, I was gonna end up dead, or 2, 3 other people were gonna end up dead. And in that moment of paranoia, I cried out to God, quite literally cried out to God, and told him, it's either now, right now, you let them find me and kill me, or it's yours. And when I said it, I know in my heart I was telling him, it's my life is yours, and you do what you will with it. And after that point, I laid down in a garage where I was hiding out, and just sobs my face to the ground, to the concrete. And I called my parents. They said, oh, we've tried this before. We tried to help you. And I said, no, Mom and Dad. I said, you tried. I said, now I want help, you know? And that was the deciding factor. And 11 days later, I was in Adult and Teen Challenge.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And then fast forward 3 years now, you're clean, and you're making a difference, saving other men's life.
Yes, sir.
And putting them on the right path. What would we say the top 3 addictions that you guys see that drive people in here?
I would say meth, heroin, and cocaine.
Okay.
Cocaine.
You know, we got uppers, we got downers. You know, when you said like heroin, we were talking a little bit before we started rolling the video here. What we see is the leading reason people get hooked on heroin is because it starts with pain.
Yeah.
Usually they have a pain, whether it was someone who was in the service or injured somehow. They get a prescription for a pain medication like an opioid, right? Eventually the doctor's like, hey, we're not going to give you the opioid anymore, where the brain chemistry has been changed, and they're like, well, I still need that same high. I still need that same feeling. So heroin's cheaper, right?
Yeah.
And once you get kind of that underground network, it's easier to find.
Yeah.
And then it's just that slippery slope that before you know it, someone's addicted and they're now a heroin addict, and their life's completely ruined.
Yes, sir.
And so if the process, right, because I know some of the people that are watching this right now, they can relate to your story. Maybe they have a family, friend, or loved one who's in a similar spot in the journey that you've described. So this is a 12-month program. That's in depth. Like,
Yes.
because it takes time to make a change is what I'm hearing.
Yes,
It's not
yes,
like
sir.
you're like, hey, 1 week later, hey, I've been addicted for 10 years, I'm good. It's a process
Yeah.
through there. So what does that 12 months look like, right? So someone's, right, says, hey, like you did, hey, I'm ready to make a change, right? And they enter a place like this. Then what happens?
So for the first 7 months, we do different things like intensive work. It's a lot of work, discipline, different little rules that we go over. We have group studies for new Christians, which covers things like attitudes, personal rights, anger, obedience to man, obedience to God. We just educate them in these things, these tools that they can use for not only addiction, but just any kind of life issues, any kind of problem that they have. We take them through that. Then in the second phase, they get a little bit more leadership skills. They actually student leaders. They help the other guys that are coming in newer. And this is about the 4th month when second phase starts. And then they do that for another 3 months. They go on different fundraisers and stuff like that to just open up the doors for the next man to come in, because one thing about us too is we don't charge monthly. We actually ask for a one-time induction fee as they come in, but if they don't have it, we don't turn them away.
So you don't turn them away. So if someone can afford it or their family, great. What is the one-time induction fee?
The one-time induction fee is $1,500.
Okay.
That's what we ask.
$1,500, and that's a year program.
That's for the year.
Okay.
Yes.
And if they can't afford it, you don't turn them away.
No, not at all.
Where do you guys get your money from to run this place?
We do different things like fundraisers. We have a huge wood shop on one of our campuses, our San Antonio location, and we make different craft items with donated wood, and we we go to different businesses like storefronts, like some Brookshire Brothers, 7-Elevens, Ace Hardwares, anywhere. You could see us out there on the weekends, Fridays and Saturdays if you're in Texas. And we set up a little booth to raise awareness. We actually call them DATs, Drug Awareness Teams.
Okay.
So, and we just take donations for these items that we make, and that's one way that we create revenue for us. We receive monthly donations from thousands of people, churches. I'm in a different church every Sunday, and I take a team of guys with me that are in the program, and we share testimonies of what God's doing in our life, and they bless us with donations too. So yeah, we're not government funded at all, because if the government came in, they'd try to take Jesus out of it, and that's just a simple fact. And
that's a core part of this program.
That's a core, yes. It wouldn't work if we took God out of this program. We would be a whole bunch of ex-addicts telling each other to, get over what happened in your life, and
that is so key, and I totally respect you guys for that. Right? I have a personal belief and conviction myself, and I think that's tremendous. Like that, you're not just helping someone break the addiction, but you're helping them like in the big picture, in the relationship with God. So that way, years down the road, they're just a better man, a better husband, a better father, a better contributor to society, like everything. So if you guys are watching this, and right now something inside you feeling like, hey, I want to connect with this group, or I want to donate, or maybe talk to your organization you're involved with, what's a website or some way they can connect if they want to be involved as far as a donation level?
They can go to TC Texas, spelled out TEXAS.org, and whatever location you're closest to. I encourage you, actually, if you're close to one of these campuses and you have a family member that needs help, I encourage you to send them to a location that's farther away from their playground and their playmates. It's something that we need to take ourselves out of the situation, out of what's familiar. And really, I just want to encourage any family that has any people that are struggling with addiction, that you got to show them tough love. You got to be able to set up boundaries and not enable them, and just understand that we can help you talk them through that, and we can be here for you guys too. Any family members that are struggling with addiction or anything like that.
And you guys have how many locations throughout the nation?
We have 12 in Texas.
Okay.
We have over 200 in the USA, and we're actually in 120 countries.
Okay, wow, that's phenomenal. That's
Yeah.
phenomenal. Okay, I interrupted you there. Sorry, I just want to make sure we could connect anybody who wanted to contribute to this and that. So step one, step two, right?
Yep.
And then what's the latter part of the 12 months look like?
So the third phase of the program comes in the 7th month of the students' program. They actually have the opportunity to start building their resume, some of them for the first time. We help them build a bank account after they get their first check. We help them job search within a 20-mile radius of our campus. So there's some restrictions because we transport them back and forth, but we help them find a job and stay on with their job for the next 5 months of their program. And one thing that's cool and unique with our program too is we don't have a cutoff. We don't say, here, your 12 months is up, and there you go, back into the world. It's not over. They can actually stay for our reentry program as long as they want to.
They need to.
Literally indefinitely if they wanted to. We have one student I can think of right now is in reentry. He's been here for 3 months now after graduation and everything. So it's something really that you could take the time and let God introduce to you these values and these tools to carry for the rest of your life, and we'll be here with you walking it out too. So,
man, it's just so amazing, right? On the scale of things that matter most in life, you guys are definitely up there making a huge impact on the things that matter most, and helping, I say, society, because these are, I know this is just a men's facility, but you guys also have women's facilities in part of the organization as well.
Yes, sir.
But helping men and women be able to break the addiction cycle, develop a relationship with God, and then go back out in the community to be able to provide for themselves,
Yes.
And whether it's family or other things they want to get started, like, I just think that's amazing.
Yeah.
The big thing I get from being here in this conversation today is hope.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
there is hope. Like, if someone's feeling like, man, I'm in a garage and man, I don't know if I'm going to make it through the night.
Yeah.
There's hope out there, and there's places like this that are committed to helping you and your loved ones break this cycle. And that stat I shared, that 90,000 deaths, that's something that we can work on as a community. Right? It's not going to be one people, but you guys are making an impact here in this area.
Yeah.
The multiple centers you guys have throughout the nation. So the more we bring awareness and attention and educate, we can bring that number down from 90,000 and really save lives and impact our communities in a good way.
Yeah, it's funny that you say hope, because hope is part of our mission statement, is to put hope within the reach of every addict. So
That's cool.
Yeah,
That is awesome.
Yeah.
James, thank you for your time today.
Yes, sir.
We're going to make sure we put links and information on the bottom of this, so that way if you guys are listening or watching this, you can definitely connect with James and the teen and men's group home here. Stay connected with us throughout the entire month of August. We have multiple activities and events that we're going to be doing. Two ones I want you to save the date for. One is going to be August 25th. That's a Wednesday at 12:30. We're having a special live workshop called Chronic Pain, Alternatives to Opioids. Like, we want to help people that are in chronic pain either get off the opioids or avoid getting there, so they don't end up down this addiction cycle. And then the second is going to be our big event. We're having an overdose awareness walkathon on Saturday, August 28th. It's going to be at 8 a.m. at the Transmed Health Center in Conroe. Address is 2510 South Loop 336 West. That's 2510 South Loop 336 West in Conroe, Texas, 77304. James, I think your group's going to be out there that day with us?
Yes, sir. We'll have a table out there.
Awesome. We have over 20 different organizations and businesses committed to helping people break the addiction cycle, helping people improve their overall health and wellness with us that day. Save the date, and we'll see you guys then.